We're here for more Steins Gate. We're gonna do stuff. That also involves us fighting, I guess. So without further ado, we're gonna jump into it. Who are you fighting? CERN and the system that rules the world. That's what makes you happy. Well, we're starting right away with Moxie Kurisu sass. Last time, we did convince her to come back to the lab. We found an IBM 5100. Not to be confused with IBM, the real company. IBN, then with Enye. I don't think that made sense. With an N sound. Happy. Do not desire happiness. Have you forgotten? I'm an insane mad scientist. What I desire is chaos. Time machine exists to bring chaos to the world. Never mind happiness. Like a junkie hyper-secreting beta endorphins. If you know what beta endorphins are, about to find out. Beta endorphin. Neurotransmitter secreted by the brain. Effectively suppresses pain and stress, producing euphoria. The effect known as runner's high can be explained by the secretion of these beta endorphins. There you go. See, you learn science as you listen to Steins Gate. It's a win-win. Win-win. That's what win-wins are, alright? As far as I know. Anyway.
Ocarine, I don't want you doing bad things, remember?
Well, wow, I can't believe you found one. You make the impossible look easy. That's why we love you. That's why we had...
I certainly don't admire him.
Eh?
Eh? Eh? For a moment there is complete silence.
It's all thanks to my Yushi.
You guys have to find out very quickly why Kurisu is a beloved character as we go. Mariri, oblivious as always, puffs out her chest with pride. But I don't miss Kurisu's relieved sigh. She keeps dropping manga quotes. Does it mean what I think it means?
Without my Yushi's info, Ocarine would still be lost on the streets of Akiba.
Mariri's right. She did well this time.
Anyway, it's time for my Yushi to go home. What about you, Kurisu-chan? Want to go together?
Thanks, but I'm going to stay here a little longer. Looks like Kurisu's interested in the IBN 5100 and CERN after all. That reminds me, I haven't filled her in yet.
Okay, but you should go home before it gets too late. See you tomorrow. Doo-doo-doo.
Hey. See you, Mariri. Mariri waves her hand and she leaves. Gee! Now then, Daru. When do you think we can use the IBN 5100 to hack CERN?
Well...
Daru talks as he plugs the IBN 5100's power adapter into the wall. Turns the machine on and the power supply begins to make a turbulent noise.
Wow, it actually turned on. First I need to learn how to use this thing. Looks like hooking it up is gonna be a pain. Might take a while, can't play with this thing and search for the server admin's ID at the same time.
Alright, prioritize the ID search. If possible, I'd like you to get the IBN 5100 ready to use this month though. That's sometime in August.
There's still 30 days left this month. It's not gonna take that long.
That's my super hacker. Well, who's sending me mail? Alright, we'll check that later, okay? Because Kurisu hates it when we interrupt her, so, well. Well, what? I'm asking you for an explanation. What's this about the IBN 5100 and CERN? Allow me to explain, my trusted super hacker, Mr. Daru.
It's not super hacker. How many times do I have to tell you?
Super hacker Mr. Daru has hacked into CERN. Is that okay? Won't they catch you?
I wouldn't make a blunder like that.
That's not what I meant. As a result, we found evidence that those bastards are researching time travel with the LHC. The LHC?
Seriously, we have the evidence, and guess what? The LHC has been in operation for 9 years.
What? Really? And they successfully generated mini black holes. No way. Then why haven't they made an official announcement? That's just it. For some reason, those bastards won't announce any of it. That the LHC has been operating for 9 years, that they successfully created mini black holes, that they're researching time travel. Basically, it's proof that CERN has. Damn it, another email. I'll start over. Basically, it's proof that CERN has something to hide. Can't you just smell the conspiracy? I don't believe in conspiracies, but if you can prove what you said is real, then I might be surprised. CERN doing time travel research. What about the IBM 5100? How's that involved? CERN's database uses another email. There's only one person who can send them this fast. A male demon. Did I tell her to give it a rest? Sorry, Daru. Please continue your explanation. Oh wow, you're forced to. Excuse myself and open the email. So now I check my email around the clock. You can reply to me anytime you want, okay? Just do so, please. Reply to my earlier message. If you found any leads yet, nothing at all at the end. I've been to a lot of stores with none of them had IBM 51 display. Maybe you should have tried asking. Let me know if you found anything more. Okay. Do you get my last email? If you did, then reply. Okay, I know. Let's set a schedule. We'll exchange information at 7 p.m. every day. She's so impatient. How's that? Doesn't that sound like a good idea? Chris is glaring at me. Better make the reply brief. Got an IBM 5100. I can't lend it to you, but if you want to see it, you can come to our lab. Alright, so we just gave her information. Send the email after adding the lab's address to close my phone. So how far did you get?
Up to the point where CERN's using IBM 5100 code for their database.
So basically what that means is the only way to decrypt that database is to use an IBM 5100 of our own. How do you know that?
I have my sources.
I don't drop Tiger's name. I have no doubt this genius girl would laugh if I did. Cruza puts a finger to her lip, deep in thought. Setting the IBM 5100 and such aside, I want to see proof that CERN's really doing that sort of research. True, we didn't get any definite proof of CERN's time travel research last time we hacked them. Daru, will it take much longer to find the server admin's account?
Actually, I was just thinking about doing that. Shouldn't take more than half a day, I guess.
There you go. I'll wait until then.
You'll wait. It's already getting dark. Why not go home for tonight and come back tomorrow morning?
No thanks. I'll wait. I want to know as soon as possible, even if it's just a microsecond sooner.
That's the spirit. You're already fascinated by the conspiracy. Can't help but want to know what lies at the heart of CERN.
If what you guys are saying is true, then this isn't something to joke about. CERN is the world's top research institution. They're doing secret experiments without publishing their results. They're making fools of scientists the world over. It's only if it's true, though.
She finishes by emphasizing that point again. Doesn't look like she believes us. Anyway, Daru, I'll leave it to you. Alright, and now we'll check this stupid email. Oh, wait, what? Oops. Anyway, Daru, according to Daru's research, IBM 5100 weighs 25 kilos. For now, we'll leave it on the shelf in the development room. Carry the cardboard box to the room and half drag it in. Carissa follows. Alright, can I... Okay, so I can't because I'm in the middle of dragging the thing. It's pretty accurate.
Can you show me the phone, Wave?
Indeed I can. Want to experiment?
You haven't been able to send another email to the past yet, right? Do you know why?
I can only shake my head.
Let's run some tests.
Crusoe looks around the development room. Man, you have a ton of junk.
It's not junk! It's not junk! Since you're new to the Future Gadget Laboratory, I'll explain. These are the glorious fruits of our science, the Future Gadgets. Future Gadgets 1 through 7 are stored here. Phone wave with which you are already familiar with. It's gadget number 8.
Future Gadgets, huh?
Kusa casually picks Future Gadget 4, Mode Snake up from the shelf and stares at it.
Hey, isn't this a weapon?
Future Gadget number 4, Mode Snake. Designed after a Claymore landmine, is an instant humidifier.
How confusing.
Insert water and turn the power on, and in mere seconds it generates a thick cloud of steam.
So it's junk. I thought so.
Cruises sighs and returns Mode Snake to the shelf.
I'm borrowing this.
Without waiting for a reply, she grabs Daro's never-worn lab coat from the shelf and puts it on gallantly. Whoa.
Whoa. It's just not right without a lab coat.
Overcome with emotion, I seize Cruise's hand and grasp it firmly.
Hey!
Assistant! You get it! Don't you?
Get what? Well, let go.
If you're gonna do science, you need a lab coat, right? Told Daro over and over, but he wouldn't wear one. My assistant is different. She puts it on before I even said anything. I knew you were meant for this, Christina. The best assistant a mad scientist could ask for.
I don't know if that's supposed to be a compliment. It's coming off as an insult. Now let go.
She shakes off my hand and turns her back to me. Giving you that lab coat to commemorate you joining the lab. Don't worry, it's never been worn. Marie, this fateful encounter between you and that lab coat was decided by destiny long ago. Daro not wearing it was just another inevitability. This is a choice of Steins.
Shut up, so we can start the experiment.
Sad ellipses. Krisa thrusts both hands into her lab coat pockets and bends down to look at the time machine now placed underneath the table. The previous experiment broke the table and even left a hole in the floor. There's danger that will happen again if we successfully reproduce the discharge phenomenon, so unfortunately we will have to leave it on the floor for now.
So you haven't tampered with the microwave at all?
I point to the X68000. There's code on the screen. It's in terminal mode now. We can change the factory settings like this, make the microwave do things its manufacturer never intended.
How was it set when the discharge phenomenon occurred?
Nothing out of the ordinary. It was at factory settings.
I'll take a banana.
The bunch of bananas only has 3 bananas left. Those are Mayuri's.
Oh, so I don't need your permission then. I'll go buy new bananas tomorrow.
Krisa takes 1 banana from the bunch, squats down and places it inside the phone wave named subject to change. She begins to type on her phone. Pushes send and the phone wave named subject to change begins to turn backwards. After 120 seconds, the chime rings.
Nothing happened.
Banana's still in the microwave, unjellified.
Ow!
Krisa yelps as she tries to take out the banana and quickly draws back her hand. Starts blowing on her fingers.
It's hot.
Meaning the microwave functioned normally. This proves that the hidden function Mayuri found wasn't a freezing function, but we knew that already. Undaunted, Krisa throws in a new banana and once again begins reverse rotation for 120 seconds. The second banana warms up too. Can't reproduce the jellification phenomenon, much less send mail to the past. What does this mean?
I guess what happened earlier was an irregularity after all.
I don't know if it's an irregularity or not. You ought to investigate the cause.
I agree.
We agree for once. Krisa's motives and my motives are probably the exact opposite. My assistant here wants to disprove my theory that the phone wave named subject to change is, in fact, a time machine. In the previous experiment, after spending 120 seconds in the phone wave named subject to change, Banana teleported back to the bunch jellified, which considered that it returned to its state 120 seconds before.
Wrong. If it returned to its state 120 seconds before, it wouldn't be jellified.
So she wants to say that because it was jellified, it didn't travel back in time. The chicken returned to its frozen state without jellifying.
That logic is dubious. Sure, it ended up frozen. Did you examine the possibility that it might have jellified first?
No, I didn't. Then Marie ate the refrozen chicken. Salt didn't get jellified.
I mean, nothing changed.
After the discharge phenomenon occurred last time, spent all night experimenting with cabbage, radishes, rice, cognac, melon bread, crunchy kun, and cup noodles. Nothing happened.
You guys don't know what crunchy kun is, you're about to find out. Garugari kun, fictional, brand of popsicle, popular throughout Japan. In addition to the standard soda flavor, over 50 varieties are sold, including cola, grape, and limited promotional flavors. Win may be written on one part of the stick. A winning stick earns a free popsicle. Chance of winning are rumored to be around 2%. It's actually not a bad win rate.
Same thing with liquids. On that day, our success rate took a 180-degree turn. Before the discharge phenomenon, everything succeeded. After the discharge phenomenon, everything failed.
Is the microwave storing electricity? You said that jellified objects became fractal structured, right? Salt has a simple structure by nature, so maybe that had an effect. How could electricity be related?
Here, we should think under the assumption of time travel theory.
No, it's not good to start thinking from the conclusion.
We've already had several successful experiments. You can't deny that.
I'm not especially concerned whether this thing is a time machine or not. To begin with, it's physically impossible for this tiny little microwave to produce energy equivalent to the Big Bang.
Krisu frowns deeply.
We can't reproduce the discharge phenomenon, nor the fractalization. There should be a reason why. We haven't changed our methods. We haven't changed the settings. We haven't changed experimental subjects either. There must be some other variable.
Maybe it's the one who observes it.
What do you mean by that?
Quantum theory. The observer is an important element to the experiment.
There were 4 of us here when the discharge phenomenon occurred last time. Before that, it occurred when Hashida-san was alone. Each time fractalization occurred, there were either 2 or 3 people observing. You and I each saw both phenomena. In other words, the conditions haven't changed.
In that case... There must be some other variable. It's on the tip of my tongue. I hear a rumbling sound from Carice's stomach. Hungry?
Shut up. I haven't eaten anything since lunch.
Carice turns away as she looks at her watch.
It's already 8?
So eat a banana. But only 1 or 2 we just warmed. They are, after all, the fruit of our experiments. Or you could take something from our stock of cup noodles.
Don't want any?
Well, since you have lived in America for so long, I guess you prefer fast food instead?
Cup noodles.
What?
I'll have cup noodles.
Cup noodles?
What flavors?
There's soy sauce flavor and chicken flavor.
Chicken.
Seems in the mood to eat.
Also, do you have a fork?
She's probably better using a fork. It's past midnight. Alright.
Can I check this email now? Alright, yeah, I can now.
Lukaku.
It's weird for a guy to like cookies, isn't it? But it makes me happy when people like eat my food. Tastes delicious. I think that's why I don't mind cooking. Is that still if you still want... What do you say? P.S. I was a little restless. I couldn't do any practice swings, so okay. Yeah, it's okay. You know.
Anyway, it's past midnight. 8 o'clock, 2 of us silently ate cup noodles and warm bananas. Zara said he didn't want any, and ever since then, we've been examining the phone wave names of such change. Mainly focused on the terminal mode setting through the X68000. The programs Zara wrote are all wizard class though, so I can't understand most of them.
Wizard class, an insanely skilled hacker.
Yay! A wizard of hacking, if you will. Carice has been examining the AC adapter and the lab electrical switchboard for a while, but we stopped her when she tried to disassemble them. It's early morning and she still shows no sign of leaving. Where is she staying anyway? She's She's been in Japan for 1 or 2 months. She did say she was going back to America this month. Trains aren't running this late, so I guess she might not be able to leave even if she wants to. But in that case, why didn't she leave before the train stopped? Don't tell me she plans to stay. Oh no, I think that's what she's planning. No girls have ever stayed over at the lab. Marie has a curfew, so she always goes back home to Ikebukuro. Dara and I frequently stay here, though. It's not an exaggeration to say we live here half the time. Maybe it's normal for American girls to stay overnight in labs. Christina, is it okay to stay here till this late? Perhaps you should contact your family. No need. What? Your parents let you do whatever you want? Cruz turns to me and sighs. I haven't seen my father in 7 years. My mother is in America. I'm living in a hotel right now, understand? What? Say what? Living in a hotel? Well, true, renting an apartment for just a month is absurd, but... Damn celebrity! If you're American, then you should at least use a motel instead of a hotel, right? Not American. There aren't any motels in the heart of Tokyo. Sort of hotel. What do you mean? It's a normal hotel in Ochanomizu. Ochanomizu? You can walk there from here, can't you? Sure. See, that's why she's so flexible with her schedule. Finally understand. So tell me about your father. Sorry? You said you haven't seen him in 7 years. Why do you care about my father? You're the one who mentioned him. Isn't that basically a hidden message saying, please give me some advice about my father, please? You're crazy. You are my assistant, and I can't let my assistant have any worries. So tell me everything that's on your mind. Frown. Greasy pouts and says no more. So she glares at the circuit box on the wall. What's wrong? I have nothing to say to you. Oh, I know. Your father was a hero, but then he fell to evil, and now he wears a black mask and cape. Goes, Hee-caw! Right? In the future, you two are destined to fight dead. I think I heard Carice's teeth grind. You're really bad at me, aren't you? Don't make fun. Carice doesn't look me in the eye, but her low voice tells me how mad she is. If people's families' issues like that, you're trampling on my heart. Could her father's situation be a landmine? Maybe I should apologize. Try to think of the words before I can say anything. Hell yeah! Dar's war cry echoes through the lab. Did you get it? Mission complete! Anyway. Dar shows his white teeth in a wide grin as he gives a thumbs up. I got the server admin's ID and password. Now we can peep as much as we want. Hi-yo! Yahoo! And the IBM 5100 database? That's separate, dog. Server admin's unrelated. I mean, it's a database with normally unreadable code, so there's a limit on who can access it. So it doesn't look like even the lab director can access it. Their position is higher than that. There's something called the CERN Executive Council. So they call it a council, eh? What about it? It's a fitting name for our enemy. You're saying, not this again. Because it looks at me coldly. Whatever, let's leave the IBM 5100 database for another day. Run a search for data on time travel research. Okie dokie. That Z program we saw last time was suspicious, wasn't it? That and the Jellyman's report. We couldn't get concrete information on either before. Carice stares holes into the monitor. Her angry expression has disappeared. Look carefully and burn it into your eyes. The proof of CERN's actions is deceit upon the world. Oh yeah, baby! Found the LHE project supervisor. The supervisor. That's a pretty important post. Right now, we're peeking inside his computer. Z program. Z obviously stands for Jerry! Zeri! Okay. Jelly starts with J. Oh, Jelly starts with J. Jelly. Huh, that was weird.
Sounded like Dara for a second. I apologize. Strange, I know.
Careless mistake, so uncool.
What I meant to say is that there's no way it would have such a simple name. The name's hiding something important. There has to be a double meaning.
Dara's been searching through the logs, suddenly stops.
Got it. Oh yeah, got it.
Displays a graphic on the monitor. Looks like a scan of a very old paper document. The letterhead reads Z program top secret.
Program began in 1973.
When was CERN formed?
1954.
Asked Dara, but Carissa answers instead, her tone flat. Thought the main CERN was formed with the Z program in mind. 54 means my guess was off. When was the IBM 5100 put on market?
1975.
So maybe that's why the IBM 5100 was central to CERN's operations. The years match, after all. No, that's wrong. Can't be something as stupidly simple as that. There has to be a worldwide conspiracy involved. Maybe IBM hid their proprietary programming language in the IBM 5100 for the sole purpose of its use in CERN's Z program. IBM and CERN are co-conspirators. Both of them are being manipulated from the shadows by an even larger organization. Yeah, that's way more interesting.
Ugh, a JPEG, come on. Can't copy paste this.
Dara mutters some complaint.
Text isn't in French.
What's on screen right now looks like English.
Actually, there's French, Dutch, German, and German versions too. Content looks the same though.
CERN's purpose heading into the 21st century shall be to establish control over space and time, thereby to enable the destruction of extant history and the creation of an everlasting utopia, ruled by the committee that encompasses the entirety of past and future events.
Carissa suddenly starts speaking at a stilted clip.
Alright, Maki says she can do English.
Way to go, assistant! Your study abroad in America was all for the sake of today, wasn't it?
Of course not. Stop assigning people roles in your fantasy world.
Dara relinquishes his chair, allowing Carissa to sit in front of the computer.
In order to maintain this project's secrecy, and to allow its name to remain relevant in changing circumstances, we designated the Z program. Z, like the Greek Omega or the Cyrillic Ya, is forbidden to assign any meaning to this name or to seek its significance beyond the project itself. Negative returns are predicted should this edict be violated. The Z program is a top-secret project spanning international borders. Like electromagnetic wave research, has been approved for top priority funding by the Committee of 300. Henceforth, all other research performed by CERN shall function to keep the Z program's existence secret.
Ah, guess Carissa's reading the preface to a document. It's getting rather dull. Is there anything specific about what exactly the Z program is? Dara types on the keyboard from the side, bringing up another window.
Here. This can't be.
Carissa bends forward and stares wide-eyed at the words on the screen. What is it?
The purpose of the Z program is to perform time-space displacement experiments by means of high-energy proton-proton collisions.
Time-space displacement experiments. In other words, time travel. I have to struggle to keep from shouting. Quickly run over to the window and close it. Might make it hotter inside, but it would be worse if people outside overheard us.
No way. It was true. You're telling me they've been deceiving the world for nearly 40 years?
Just as I suspected, a great shadow lurks behind CERN, most likely the organization or one of its puppets.
What organization, you Chunibyo nutjob? At least try to be serious some of the time.
Don't be ridiculous. My words are always grounded in truth.
Anyway, shouldn't it be the committee instead of the organization? That's what it says here.
The Committee of 300? I don't think they mean CERN's Executive Council. What are they talking about?
That's a good question. What are they talking about? Tips list? The Unseen Masters, a secret organization rumored to manipulate the world behind the scenes. Some believe that many secret societies spoken of by conspiracy theorists are all merely puppets of the Committee of 300. One theory states that the Committee of 300's ultimate goal is to establish a one-world government. With the exception of the elites, the world's population will be reduced to 1 billion, and that remaining 1 billion will be enslaved. Doesn't sound pleasant, if you know what I mean. Doesn't sound like a fun time, you know? It's like 7.4 billion people in the world, so... imagine. 1 out of every 8, bye. Ugh, yeesh. Anyway. The world is full of lies. It's not as beautiful as you think.
Listen, Ocarine.
I'm listening. The Committee of 300 is a dark power that controls every secret society, every government, every multinational corporation. You're making things up again. It's the truth. Google it if you don't believe me. Till now, the human race, for all of its accomplishments, has never been able to overcome the barrier called time. The technology of time travel, which can break through that barrier, will change the course of human history, literally. As it was when we split the atom, this forbidden fruit has the potential to grant us godlike power, that a man exists who can resist its temptation. And naturally, all those with power will use any means at their disposal to obtain it. Human morality is not but a joke to those who would stand with the gods. Understand, Christina? Wow, that was quite a speech. Since you seem to know so much about it, does that mean you're aiming for godhood too? What Hoing Koma desires is the destruction of all who would call themselves gods, collapse of their hateful system, the glorious new age of chaos. Mwahaha! I'm not asking Hoing, I'm asking Okabe. I am Hoing! I totally am. I'm totally Koma. In other words, you don't have your own reason. Damn you, assistant! How dare you attack my very identity! Yeah, how's it going, King?
Forget about him, Makisashi. Please keep reading.
Daru! What do you mean forget about me?
I'm tired of listening to conspiracy theories. More interested in the Z program than in your delusions.
Told you they're not delusions, and they're not theories. But Daru does have a point. Our top priority now is to expose the dark side of the International Research Organization, known as CERN. Woo. Continue, assistant. At least show some respect when you're asking a favor. Though Huffia complains, Chris obediently goes back to translating. Collider. Stage 1. Construction and implementation of the Large Hadron Collider. If you guys don't know what the Hadron Collider is, we talked about it. Over the past half-century, beginning with the proton synchrotron completed in 1959, particle accelerator technology has reached a point where standardized results may be obtained. Stage 2. Implementation and testing of lifter technology. The formation of more than 2 artificial localized singularities, as well as the formation of Kerr black holes, will become possible when this stage is complete. In order to hide the program's true goal, it's necessary to intentionally leak misinformation regarding the formation of black holes. Stage 3. Animal experimentation. Stage 4. Krisu stops talking. She takes a deep breath and finally mutters angrily. Human experimentation.
For real?
Chill runs up my spine. And in that moment, animefanrk2k decided to look up what a collider was. Remember, guys, collider in science is a device that accelerates charged particles in order to research the reactions that result when such particles collide. The type of particle accelerator also determines the name of the equipment. In recent years, most high-energy accelerators have been synchrotrons, ring types. Ring-type accelerators are very expensive to build. They can perform the most effective experiments. The reason for the ring shape is that charged particles can be sent through an electromagnetic field to bend their trajectory through Lorentz force. The world's largest synchrotrons, other than CERN's LHC, are located in the US, the UK, and Japan. The more you know. Anyway. I admit it. Some part of me still saw this as a game. I was elated to discover that an institution as respected as CERN was actually doing time travel research. After all, we ourselves had succeeded, whether by chance or design, producing our own time travel phenomenon. I thought that maybe we could beat CERN to the first functional time machine design. And wouldn't that be something? But now, just like Just like I said to Kurisu, the world is full of lies. Morals are meaningless. Was it really okay for us to get involved in this?
Hey, agreed. Remember when we hacked in before? Pretty sure that email we read said this. Result, error. Human is dead. Mismatch. For details, see the Jellyman's report.
Well, someone died.
Would that have something to do with this human experimentation?
My throat grows dry. Cold sweat seeps through my brow. It's not because of the heat. Krista and Dara are waiting for me to speak. They're entrusting the decision to me. I ask myself, is this really okay? Are you sure? There's no turning back. True. Can I live with myself if I ignore this conspiracy? Daru, look up the Jellyman's report.
Really?
Really. First, Christina. You should leave. Why are you suddenly... The Jellyman's report just gives me a bad feeling. Once we see it, we can no longer return to our normal lives. Been feeling off today? Well, about to see a Jellyman's report, so everyone's gonna feel off soon. You're a genius. You're already published, for crying out loud. There's no need to throw away your promising future. Are you worried about me? Of course I am. You are my assistant, after all. I keep telling you I'm not your assistant. Thanks for your concern, but I'm not leaving. We need to expose this truth to the world. No, it's too dangerous. You chickening out? Powerless against this conspiracy. One wrong move and they'll have us erased. But still, this isn't a game. I'm not joking here. Fine. I won't tell anyone. Her expression shows she still doesn't agree. She finally submits. But I'm not leaving. It'll keep me awake at night. You won't regret this? I won't. She declares firmly. I don't know if her competitive spirit or if it's her bravery, or if she's just ignorant to the ways of the world. But it doesn't look like I can persuade her to back down. What about you, Daru? Prepared?
Well, I am a super hacker.
It's comfortable even in this situation.
And with my skills, they'll never know we were there.
That settles it. It's good that Marie's not here. Can't get her involved. Look Daru and Carissa in the eye. Alright. Let's begin. Carissa gives a seat to Daru. Henceforth, this shall be known as Operation Langyon's Chest. Langyon's Chest. In Norse mythology, a gigantic chest protected by 9 locks that contains the cursed sword, Levantine. Just so you guys know. Why Norse mythology?
Is that Norse mythology? Because it's cool, I guess.
Anyway, what is with men in military terms? Daru, begin the operation! Soon finds the Jellyman's report. Requires a second password authentication, which Daru broke through easily.
Ready? I'm opening it.
Daru looks at me and Kurisu. Wet my parched lips and nod. The air in the lab suddenly seems thicker. Unable to escape through the closed window, it surrounds us with an oppressive heat. Daru wipes the sweat off his forehead with a handkerchief and timidly presses the enter key. The file opens. First glance, it looks like a resume. The photograph on the top right. Top left has his name, age, height, weight, and other information. Centers a long string of English text. Underneath that, there's something attached like a scan of a newspaper clipping with a black and white photo. And then I know. I know exactly what the Jellyman and Jellyman's report means. A man in wall appears in New York. Jellyman's report 10. Subject, James McCarthy, age 31, American. C program stage 4, date of experiment, 2005-01-28,
Time 13:05. Kurisu bends over Daru's shoulder, reading the contents out loud. Results, error. Human is dead. Mismatch.
That again.
It is believed that due to infinite compressions by supergravity, the subject could not endure passage through the singularity inside the curved black hole. April 3rd, 1921, New York City, an unidentified man was discovered dead in an alley off Union Square. The right half of his body was embedded in a nearby wall. It sounds like Kurisu is reading the newspaper article at the end. The man's body was completely jellified.
Jellified. Quick saving jellification.
The ticking of the clock is like a hammer inside my head. It's past 2 a.m. The window is closed, and the lab is silent but for the humming of the computer. I stare at the gruesome image displayed on the monitor, speechless. I was right. We're in too deep. I half expect guys in black suits and sunglasses to kick down the door and drag us off to a secret military prison. Better make sure the door's locked.
What's going on here?
Daru breaks the silence with a disbelieving whisper.
They jellified someone?
Upon hearing the familiar word jellified, I reflexively look at the bunch of bananas placed next to the computer. There's only one banana left. We didn't have a single successful experiment today, so none of them were jellified. But I don't think this is a mere coincidence. The jellified banana is produced by the phone wave, named subject to change, and the jellified corpses produced by CERN's experiments. They seem identical in nature. They're experimenting on people. Chrissy speaks calmly despite her grim expression. She doesn't even avert her eyes from the gruesome image. And this means they've created a time machine, doesn't it? Even if it's not perfect. Still in shock, so I don't quite grasp the meaning of Carisu's words. This New York Times article is from 1921. 90 years ago. Look. Because it points to a part of the black and white photograph, her fingers shaking slightly. Jellified corpse of a man. She pointed to his shoulder, which has writing on it. Perhaps it was printed on his clothes, fused onto the jellified body, but you can somehow manage to read it. CERN.
So CERN used LHC to send someone back to 1921?
Looks like they failed to keep him alive, though.
Is this the only report? No, there's more. Looks like 14 people in total.
More jellymen. That means more jellified people. More victims of human experimentation. I swallow hard. I'm awfully thirsty. Take a cold Dr. Pepper out of the fridge and wipe my throat.
Refreshing. Show me the others.
Daru pulls up another report. Without being told to, Carissa begins translating out loud. Jellyman's Report 9. Subject Dan Straysky, age 26, Canadian. C Program 4, Data Experiment 2004-96, Time 1410. Results, error, human is dead, mismatch. Newspaper clipping, I think it's in French, can't read it. You can read the date though, January 31st, 2001. The localization is Pau, France, I guess. 2001, that's fairly recent. Pretty big difference from James McCarthy, who jumped nearly 90 years back to 1921. Daru calls up a machine translation giving us the following. January 31st, 2001, collapsed male corpse discovered in forest outside Pau, France. His left foot was fused to a tree trunk, and the body had jellified. Daru goes to the next report. Jellyman's Report 8. Subject Linda Hill, age 25, British. C Program 4. Date of experiment 2004, 2:15, time 13:45.
Result, error. Human is dead. Mismatch. October 2nd, 1972. Jellified body of a woman was discovered on the streets of Dharmapuri in Tamil Nadu, India. There were signs that the body had been run over by a car. The article goes to the next page. Gentleman's Report 7. Subject Michael Lang, age 33, German. See Program 4, Date of Experiment, 2002 10-8, time 13:28. Results, error, human is dead, mismatch. Article clipping is written in Japanese. Looks like a pre-war newspaper. May 24th, 1936. Corpse of what is believed to be a jellified human was discovered at the base of Mount Hiei in Kyoto. It was in a damaged state, possibly from having slid down the slope. Even happened in Japan. Never heard this story before. It was pre-war though, so I guess someone born in the 90s like me would have no way of knowing about it. Next page. Picture shows a beach, beautiful but for the jellyfish-like body lying on the sand. Must have washed ashore. Jellyman's Report 6. Subject Mark Hughes, age 30, American. See Program 4, Date of Experiment 2002 8:23, time 12:52. Result, error, human is dead, mismatch. July 1st, 1985. Strange body washed ashore on the coast of Streymoy, Faroe Islands. Appears to be the body of an adult male, but its flesh was soft like that of a jellyfish. Some of the island's inhabitants believed that it was the body of a merman. The description CERN was found near the body's shoulder, but CERN denies any involvement.
Keep looking.
I've seen enough. There are 14 of these people. Sites are spread throughout the world. What can we deduce from this? They must have sent them to those places. I don't think so. It's too random.
There was something about curved black holes and gravity, right? Isn't that the cause?
It is believed that due to infinite compression by supergravity, the subject could not endure passage through their curved black hole singularity. That's what it said.
What's a curved black hole? Is it different from a regular black hole?
It's a theoretical black hole with a rotating singularity. Their existence hasn't been proven yet. Not that there's any way to prove one exists. Curved black hole. Where have I heard that term before? That's right. John Titor. Titor said his time machine used curved black holes. According to Titor, CERN finished their time machine in 2034. Now, Titor himself came from 2036. Makes sense for Titor and CERN to be using the same time travel technology. Chris like, Chris closed her eyes in deep thought. Creating curved black holes? That's insane. If you screw up, it could swallow the Earth. And besides, curved black holes are just a theoretical construct. Titor's predictions are a reality, then that means the LHC's worst case scenario video on Mewtwo was right. Mewtwo! Yo, I know Mewtwo. It's a popular video sharing website, guys. Yo, Mewtwo, subscribe to my Mewtwo channel. YouTube.cat/c/animefanrk2k. Yeah, that's Pokemon. I don't know.
I don't know about Titor's predictions. I've seen the problem video before. It was on the news 2 or 3 years ago.
Problem video? A CG mock-up of an LHC-generated mini black hole swallowing the Earth. When viral when it was uploaded to YouTube. Yeah, you know, people worry about these things, you know? That's what I worry about. I worry about black holes swallowing up the Earth every day. Because I might have watched Steins, the anime. And then that was another random thing I worry about. I don't know about you guys, but you might be like, man, world hunger is a fucking problem that needs to be solved. I go, man, I hope a large curved black hole doesn't swallow up the world. They're both problems, okay? One's a lot easier to deal with. The curved black hole, because it doesn't actually exist, hopefully. The gravitational forces inside a black hole are unbelievably powerful. It's certainly possible that passing through one could allow time displacement. There's no way a human could do that and come out alive. Must be how these people got jellified.
It wouldn't just jellify you. It would tear you apart particle from particle. That's what a black hole does.
Before we discuss this, should we look through the rest of their time machine research?
Dar's already starting pulling up new documents. Suddenly afraid. Is it okay to keep hacking CERN like this? Should I stop him? The one who asked him to do it, things have gotten serious now. At the same time, irresistible curiosity wells up inside me. Time travel is becoming a reality. I want to know that it's true. Can't stop now.
Here we go. There's a file in the Z program that explains time travel theory.
That was pretty easy to find. CERN should have better security.
Their security's fine. I'm just too good. Hell yeah.
Dar is my favorite right arm.
I thought he was your super hacker.
Hacker.
So what does this say, Christina? This is in English too, so I have no choice but to rely on my assistant.
Can you give me some time to read it?
Cruz's eyes dart left and right across the lines. Her early reluctance has vanished. Looks like she's as curious as I am.
No way, but this is... Is Tighter really?
What are you muttering about? Tell me what it says.
Oh, right. You know, this feels like one big joke.
What do you mean?
It's almost the same. Same as Tighter's theory. Basically, the LHC smashes protons together at 99.9999991% the speed of light. By doing so, they compress a mass of 10 to the negative 24 kilograms into an extremely tiny space of 10 to the negative 1 meters. Okay?
In Japanese, please. 3 lines max.
Small mass. Thrust into a narrow space. With great force.
The explanation is too vague.
That explains too erotic!
Huh? What part of it is rot?
Hashida, you pervert!
Sounds like you have a pretty good imagination yourself.
I'm not like you. Her blushing cheeks make her denial less than effective. Don't listen to this fool, Christina. Continue.
Ugh. What were you talking about?
Thrusting with great force.
Proton compression.
Right. Successful compression generates a microsingularity, which...
Microsingularity, not a mini black hole.
Same thing, essentially. Singularity is the core of a black hole.
This process generates a black hole with 2 microsingularities.
Black hole with 2 cores. Like a cowlick with 2 hairs? No, I don't think that's it.
So, let's play with cute girls.
Fine. Say there are 2 cute girls. Mik-chan and Kro-chan.
Sisters are moe. Ha, ha.
By feeding Mik-chan and Kro-chan electrons, you make them do whatever you want.
Electric shock torture. Some sort of eroge.
You guys don't know what an eroge is? It's called Nekopara. Wait, what? Short for erotic game. Games with erotic content. I was not wrong! Wait, what? Cree's like, I'm gonna punch this guy.
So you force them to rotate at an extremely high velocity. And then, theoretically, Mik-chan and Kro-chan transform into magical girl ring singularity.
Cute stock transformation scene. Got it.
Really? We're gonna Henshin Bank? Really? Refers to the transformation sequences in Henshin Hero and Magical Girl anime. The stock transformation scenes are used in nearly every episode. The animation is done independently in advance. As a result, the production quality is often higher than that of the rest of the anime. Do you guys know that? Hey. So it's really cool when like there's anime series or that don't do that. Well, it looks like these two have found a common wavelength.
The resulting black hole exhibits what's called the Kerr effect.
What are Kerr black holes anyway? Said they spin. What does that mean?
Exactly what it sounds like.
But don't black holes usually spin? I mean, there's a whirlpool around the hole, right?
The part that looks like it's spinning is just the surrounding matter being sucked into the black hole. Black hole is just a point where extreme mass causes gravitational collapse. Everything falls towards it. Since it's only a point, it doesn't spin. A curved black hole has a ring at its center, not a point. Think of it like this. Once transformed into magical girls, Micha and Crochan's hearts spin like a ring inside their bodies. It's impossible for normal people.
I'll pass on the girl.
Oh, snap. Before you said that such black holes' existence would be impossible to prove, what did you mean? Black hole has what's called an event horizon. Oh yeah, if you guys don't know what the event horizon of a black hole is, it's good information, you know? See, you can play Steins and be like, hey, I have a paper on physics. And be like, oh wow, you learned so much. It's like, yeah, I know, right? Also known as the Schwarzschild surface. A black hole, there exists a point beyond which even light can no longer escape the black hole's immense gravity. This boundary is called the event horizon, because light and other electromagnetic waves are responsible for conveying information. Nothing that occurs within the event horizon can be observed from the outside. The center of a black hole is black because no light can escape from it. So basically, guys, how your vision and stuff works, and this is for whoever cares a little bit. Give me like a little, like a few minutes to nerd out. We perceive everything because visible light bounces off of things, and then our eyes are light receptors, and they see that bounced thing. So it's very interesting because while you are looking at stuff, you're technically never seeing the thing that exists. You're only seeing the reflection of the light bouncing off of it. And colors are literally colors. All they are is every other color in the visual spectrum is absorbed by that thing. For example, I have this red micro SD card case on my desk. That means every color but red is being absorbed by it, and the red bounces off that, and then my eyes see that because it perceives the red being bounced off of this case. And that's literally how vision works, and it's really cool. It's like it's super cool. Like, so it's like you're not seeing things the way you think you're seeing them, because everything you see is just the one part of the visual spectrum that's being bounced off of it. So like something that's green is absorbing everything but the green visible light, which is then bounced off from that object into your eyeballs, and that's how your brain interprets the data. It's super awesome, and it can be super confusing, and science is cool. Thank you for giving me a few minutes to nerd out a little. Anyway. Yeah, it's really cool. So that's why, like, okay, and to go back to the event horizon, that's why the event horizon makes observing the actual center of a black hole impossible. Because, like I said, the black hole's gravity is so great at its center, it absorbs light. So even if you want to see light, you can't, because it's being absorbed. So, yeah. So that's why you can't see the center of a black hole. Which is really cool when you release pictures of black holes being observed for the first time, because like, wow, that doesn't work the way it should, but it does because of special technology and stuff. You know, science is cool, guys. Anyway, once you pass the event horizon, time and space switch places. Time and space switch places. Right now, we can move freely through space and into the future. We can't move even 1 minute into the past. That becomes reversed. On the other side of the event horizon, moving freely through space becomes impossible, while moving freely through time becomes possible. Can't even imagine what that's like. Yeah, seriously, right? It's basically, you know what, that's just kind of like switching your axes. Like, say, like, all our axes are like XYZ spatial dimensional axes, right? And time is on its own, like, axes. I guess that's all it is, anyway.
Since unrestricted spatial movement is impossible, you can never escape a black hole. For example, if Okabe jumped into a black hole, time for him would stretch to infinity. Since light cannot escape, human eyes cannot see the other side of the event horizon. Observing a black hole from the outside is impossible, so nothing about the inside can be proven. There is an exception, however. The exception is vital when you use a curved black hole for time travel.
Get to the point.
Curved black holes ring singularity. Since it's spinning, it has angular momentum.
Like I said, in Japanese, please.
Didn't I already explain how the core spins? Just think of that as having momentum. If you keep giving Mikchan and Crochan electrons, they'll rotate faster and faster. When their angular momentum exceeds a certain threshold, your event horizon will disappear, and the singularity will become a naked singularity.
Naked? You mean the magical girl costumes expose a lot of skin, right? When does the anime adaptation air?
Anyway, naked singularity is a singularity is usually concealed by its event horizon, which renders observation impossible. A naked singularity is a singularity whose event horizon has been removed, and therefore be observed and even traveled through. The existence of naked singularities is purely theoretical. So basically, the naked singularity theory is such that they're saying that once a black hole gains enough momentum, it eventually starts moving. So, in a place where things shouldn't be moving, it starts moving. And that's why you can now see it. That's why it's not naked. Science is also confusing. It's cool. Because I ignored Daro's nonsense. Naked, I mean, it becomes observable. When the event horizon disappears, there's no more reason for time and space to change places, meaning that you can enter a naked singularity without being trapped. And then the existence of the naked singularity allows the principle of causality to be violated and the general theory of relativity to fail. The laws of physics are broken.
Can such a thing exist?
The negation of the theory of relativity and the principle of causality means serious paradoxes can occur. Didn't Kongroo say that earlier? Nothing in principle stops curved black holes from existing. Seems inconsistent, but the math never lies. Since the principle of causality fails, it will be possible to travel to the past by entering a naked singularity. John Titor said the same thing, so Titor's time machine is using CERN's technology. But Titor's time machine was compact, small enough to fit into a car. The LHC is 27 kilometers long. They managed to get it down to travel size in just 24 years. One thing I don't understand is how they inject electrons into the singularity. Look, this is a picture of the LHC. It's a strange equipment installed at the proton collision site. Looks like they call it a lifter. Just what is it?
Dara, have you heard of it?
Lifter. I think I saw that in the Z program files. Wanna Google it?
Dara opens up a browser window and enters lifter into a search engine.
We've got hits!
Hello? About 422,000 results. Yeah, thanks, Google. That many? I guess it's not a secret.
Could this be it? Ionocraft.
Ions are charged particles. The meaning matches. You click on the link that says Ionocraft Lifter. Takes us to a video. Lifter technology demonstration and explanation on YouTube. Looks like some dim garage. It doesn't seem like anything secretive, just a garage like you see in an average American home. At the center of the screen is a triangular shape made of some kind of metal. Looks about 10 centimeters high and about 30 centimeters wide. Connected to some sort of generator by a thin wire. Looks like some really cheap equipment. That's all there is. Nothing else. They're explaining something in some language I don't understand. Russian, maybe? The person filming the video slowly turns the power on. And then...
it's floating!
The silvery triangle floats soundlessly into the air. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Then it remains stationary. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That's an anti-gravity device. Don't be ridiculous. That would be the breakthrough of the century. It's called an ionocraft, so it probably has something to do with the electrodes in charge there. Krisa doesn't sound as confident as she usually does. Look up information on the ionocraft lister. Lots of sites have detailed instructions on how to make lifters, but I don't know how they work since the sites all give conflicting theories. CERN is using this lifter technology. It's a vital component of their time machine. They can manipulate a microsingularity's mass and gravitational field. And these things really are anti-gravity devices.
Well, under those exact conditions, I guess you might not be entirely wrong.
Incredible! Amazing.
Curiosity is growing more by the second. But looks like CERN's having trouble adjusting their lifter. They don't have full control over the microsingularity's gravity. They can't make a true naked singularity.
That must be the reason why the subjects turn into jellymen. Crease nods.
Since the singularity is still closed, the subject is crushed by its tremendous gravity. As a result, substances become fractalized. Let's go with that hypothesis. Of course, there's no way to be sure that's right. It might take months to prove.
Creaser shrugs her shoulders in resignation. CERN's lifter is still incomplete. Tyler is telling the truth, and CERN won't complete their time machine for another 24 years. We can complete the phone wave name subject exchange first, and we'll have outwitted CERN.
We don't have half the equipment or funding CERN does. What makes you think you can solve a problem they can't? This isn't that simple. CERN still hasn't figured out how to set the subject's destination in time or space. That should be evident by how scattered the Jellyman's discoveries were. We don't even know if this is all of them. There could be Jellymen buried underground or floating in space. Actually, I'm almost certain there are. There's no way traveling through time if you end up in tens of thousands of kilometers away from Earth. It's not practical at all.
Tyler said that he had a variable gravity lock system. He used that to lock onto the Earth's gravity and ensure he'd arrive somewhere on the planet's surface.
Tyler's explanation on that point was vague. He mentioned having such a device, but he didn't explain how it worked.
But if you're only moving through time, won't you just arrive at the same location?
Of course not.
Why not?
Because the Earth is always moving.
Right. Rotation and revolution. The Earth's rotational velocity is about 1,650 kilometers per hour. Its orbital velocity around the Sun is about 114,000 kilometers per hour. Meaning 1 hour ago we were that far away from where we are now.
Whoa! When you think about it like that, we're earth-shatteringly fast.
And that's not all. The solar system is part of the Milky Way, and the Milky Way spins like a giant whirlpool. There are various theories, but basically the Earth moves about 50 million kilometers a day.
God damn it, Mail! How could she roll all those numbers so smoothly off her tongue? I get that she's a genius, but it's hardly common knowledge. Has she been doing research on the topic?
We've kind of got to do a ludicrous scale.
By the way, the Milky Way is part of a large cluster of galaxies, which is itself part of an even larger supercluster. And these clusters and superclusters might be moving too. If that's the case, we're moving even more than 50 million kilometers a day. The point is that setting the destination would require insane calculations, even if you only wanted to travel 1 second into the past. Doing it by hand is impossible. It might take years for a supercomputer to come up with a solution, just to get you to the same location.
Then we have no choice. We need to find Tyler and borrow his variable gravity system.
Great idea. Go for it. I wonder how CERN is dealing with this problem.
Let me off, Crucible has to read CERN documents. Alright, well, let me read them. Ferris. We bought Phantasm's debut single now. It's a theme song for Ryan Kongroo. It's really popular. Ferris brought 5 copies now. It's my duty as a Ryan Netter. Anyway, there's an important secret. The keys are locked. Ooh, spell's ringing now. Looks like someone's here. Where they are said to contain directions to the sanctuary as well as prophecies regarding the end of the world. Isn't that right? The band's vocalist feels strong resonance from her. Theme song. It's another part of Operation Stupidify Humanity. Explain. Important secret. I'm aware that they contain us. It's all about that sanctuary, you know? My sanctuary, you know? Hey. Anyway, back on topic. Dora and I aren't good with English, so there's nothing we can do but let her work. And then it's morning. Dawn breaks. Stayed up all night again. Fighting drowsiness, I refill my mug with instant coffee. I already lost count on how many times I've had. Okabe. She hands her mug to me without looking away from the computer. Guess she expects me to refill it. Since when did I become her maid? Should ask Mayuri for stuff like this. Mayuri's a professional maid after all. That said, Carice is the one reading Cern's documents right now. Dara and I can manage if we use translation software, but we're nowhere near as efficient as she is. It's not exactly what I had in mind when I said I wanted to borrow her knowledge. Just goes to show that I was right to make her a lab mem. So I asked it to the lab, for now. At least, just try not to upset her. There you go. Silently take the mug from Carice, dump in the powdered coffee, and pour in the hot water from the pot. 2 packets of sugar, no milk. Carice has already requested it the same way 5 times today. Mix it well and bring it over to Carice. Then I immediately realize I'm standing behind her, so I hold the mug in front of her face. She takes it without turning. Thanks. Her eyes never leave the screen. She's completely absorbed in Cern's research. Even though she was adamant when she called them traitors to scientists everywhere, it's not above picking their brains. But I understand how she feels. I'm itching to know more myself. Daru is fast asleep on the sofa. Snoring is quite loud. Furthermore, it sounds like he has sleep apnea. Surprised Carice has been able to ignore it. She just that focused? Decided to watch some TV. As always, news channels are all covering Radicon's satellite crash. Oh, origin other info under investigation. 5 days have passed since the satellite crash. With the start of the summer vacation season, crowds are gathering to get a glimpse of the satellite, which has not yet been removed.
I came from Nagoya. I want to see it.
I drove all the way from Saitama. It's amazing. Where did that thing come from?
Yay, I'm a high school girl from Chiba. Tourists from all over Japan are flocking to this location. In an interview early today, Michael Burns, spokesperson from NASA, stated, okay, was it?
Part-time worker. So hungry I had to skip breakfast again today. Don't have much money on hand. Is there any good place to find insects or weeds around here? Or I could get by using my survival skills. Let's see, insects or weeds. Eat insects, hardcore. What kind of childhood did you have? I can say eat insects, hardcore. There you go. Hardcore part-time work. You know how it is, you know. Part-time warriors, you know how they are.
That no satellite had crashed in Japan, and that the crash object was in fact not even a satellite. The satellite is currently under police investigation. No date for removal has been set.
They're really under investigation. This could be another plot by the organization.
Good morning. Oh wait, should I say good afternoon?
Door unlocks from outside. Marie comes in. To the convenience store, bag in hand. There are various food items inside, but it doesn't look like they're for us.
Ooh. The air in here is so thick.
3 of us probably look pretty haggard since we stayed up all night. It's hard to put on a bright smile now that I know about Cern.
I'll refresh the air.
Marie opens the window wide. The sky is so blue it hurts my eyes. Large clouds listlessly drift on the wind. It truly is a refreshing sight. So how long is this? I'm going to say that Steins I think is about 50-ish to 60 hours of playtime, I want to say. Maybe 40 even. It's really tough to make that call. Yeah, I'm going to say like 40 hours of playtime, I'll say. Give or take. It's a good estimate. Marie's appearance makes Daru get up with a grimace. Carice also finally moves away from the computer, sipping her hot coffee while rubbing her eyes. Glance at the clock, then go to the center of the room and call for attention. Since all lab mems are present and accounted for, this is a perfect opportunity to hold another roundtable conference.
Roundabout confluence.
What's that?
A meeting of lab mems.
Have we ever done that before?
Do you even have a round table?
Not physically, however, it exists in the hearts of all lab mems. Am I mistaken?
Yes, you're mistaken. Don't go sticking things in people's hearts. Is there one in my Yushi's too?
Of course there is.
Oh, that's good. What's a roundable?
Why a round table? King Arthur? Get out of here! Stop excalibur me, bro!
I'm only a temporary lab mem anyway. These people whine about every little thing.
Mayuri's like, I'm eating onigiri. Rice balls.
Anyway, it's a roundtable conference. Mayuri wasn't here last night, so first explaining the situation to her. Tell Mayuri about everything we discovered in her absence. About how CERN is making a time machine. About Jellyman. How Men in Black might be coming to erase us for what we know.
I told you shouldn't do bad things.
Bad, you say? We are bad? Absurd! If we're bad, then CERN is even worse. They aren't satisfied with ruling the world. Now they want to get their hands on space-time itself.
I agree.
For the reason Carissa backs me up.
What CERN is doing is unforgivable. They're traitors to humanity, to society, and to science. I guess.
She doesn't sound convinced. I never want to get Mayuri involved, but she's surprisingly perceptive. She'd find out even if we kept it a secret, so it's better to just tell her.
I'm gonna eat my onigiri. Nom 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 nom.
Anyway, Ragnarok can no longer be averted. The final battle with CERN is near. A large part of me is still afraid. We've come too far to turn back now. Can't unlearn what we know.
Ragnarok? Norse mythology again?
Christina, I ordered you to investigate CERN. What have you learned?
I don't remember being ordered, but whatever. There are two problems CERN faces with time travel. First is the electron injection device, also known as a lifter. Unless they get it to function properly, they can't make the current black hole singularities naked. If you send a test subject through the singularity in its current state, supergravity compresses them to the micro level. Naturally, there's no way to survive. Second problem is that they can't specify a physical destination. They can't choose where they end up after traveling to the past. That's why I say the 14 found jellymen were the lucky ones. Over 100 human experiments have been performed since 2001. The remaining 80 or so people end up somewhere they can't be found. Why can't they be found?
Didn't you know, Mayushi? The world is constantly moving. Its rotational speed is 1,500 kilometers per hour. Orbital speed is 114,000 kilometers per hour.
Dar's tone is authoritative, but he's just relaying what he heard from Carissa last night.
CERN has been looking for solutions, but it's not going well.
So even CERN is having difficulties. Now then, have you learned anything that could help us complete the phone wave name subject change?
Carissa stares at the ceiling in thought. Well, I suppose you could call the LHC the world's largest microwave oven.
Of course! In other words, phone wave name subject to change is a miniature LHC.
You might be onto something there.
I'm sure she'd deny it. In fact, I thought she'd yell at me. When says she agreed with me, throws me off a little.
However, there are too many things we don't know about the phone wave. Why do the same phenomena that occur in CERN's time machine also occur in that tiny little microwave? Unlike the LHC, this thing wasn't made for time travel. It was made to warm my Yushi's chicken! Well, yeah.
Since the Jellyman phenomenon occurs with the phone wave name subject to change, Mariu's bananas must be reaching the curved black hole's ring singularity.
It makes a black hole? Here? It won't suck us in, will it?
If it sucked us in, we become Jellyman too.
We still haven't figured out the electric discharge phenomenon or the conditions required to cause it.
During our experiments earlier, we're only able to send emails to the past during your discharge.
Although it hasn't happened again, that discharge phenomenon could very well signify the injection of a charge, that is the electrons. And only when it occurs is the path to the singularity open.
We don't know what the cause of the discharge phenomenon.
That's what we need to find out.
In the first place, the emails we're sending to the past are digital data, not physical objects. That's a definite difference from CERN's time machine.
No, we're doing the same thing. To say that digital data can't go through a singularity, I think it would be easier than sending something human-sized.
Well, I suppose that's true. You know, the way you guys talk about email, it makes me think of folding a letter into a paper airplane, make it go zoom, you know?
It's more like a beam of light, like optical digital data. By the way, it's a pain to keep saying email sent to the past. Let's give it a proper name.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
What's that supposed to mean? Dermark Hoin Hyoma!
You just want to give it some oddball name, don't you?
Huh, how rude. Heed me, I shall name the phenomenon email sent to the past as follows. Name shall be Nostalgia Drive.
Confusing, rejected.
Why, you? Who gave you the authority to reject my ideas? Just an assistant.
Then why don't we take a vote? All in favor of Nostalgia Drive.
My hand shoots into the air. Nobody follows suit. Have you forsaken me, Daru? Mayuri!
Chris-chan's right. It's too hard for Mayushi to remember.
It's way too chuny, man.
Traitors! Fine, now let's hear alternatives. Don't tell me you rejected my idea without having any bright ideas of your own.
I think it needs to be something easy to understand. The email that regresses through time, so how about retro mail? What does retro mean?
Marie is busy eating strawberry jelly. A strawberry jelly-filled donut?! How can she eat that stuff after hearing about Jellyman? Sounds like you have your answer, Christina. So it should be easy to understand, but it wasn't easy to understand at all, was it?
But that's because my Yuri-san said is... never mind.
We're about to say because Mayuri's dumb.
No. Chris-chan, do you think Mayushi's dumb? I don't. I promise. I don't, okay?
So Krista managed to glare at me even while soothing Mayuri.
I vote the mail who leapt through time.
The male, Mayuri is, remember, Japanese, so Carissa used the word retro, and retro is an English word. And Mayuri is definitely a lot more people smart than you would think. Remember, she's not here to be a scientist. She's here as a hostage, remember?
I vote the mail who leapt through time.
That's too stiff, it's hard to say.
Better than your nostalgia listing expialidocious nonsense. Mine makes a movie title reference.
That's not cool. It needs to be cool.
You rejected it for that?
Do-do-do. Mayushi has an idea. How about back to the mail? I took a movie title and changed the word to mail.
I already did the movie joke, Mayushi.
Besides, I think the meaning is a little off.
It's probably meant mail to the future, but our emails go to the past.
It's not about the meaning. I took a movie title and changed the word to mail.
Either way, it's too long.
Then how about DeLorean mail?
That doesn't even say what kind of email it is.
Hey, you don't have time for this nonsense. Let's just abbreviate to D-mail and move on.
But that's boring! Whiny Rintaro.
It don't care if it's boring.
No, she might say I. Nice misspelling. Translators. On to you.
I don't care if it's boring.
Shot down. Kristen's influence in the lab seems to have grown significantly these past few days.
D-mail it is.
Marie finishes with her jelly, proclaims in satisfaction. Wait, when did Mayuri become the moderator?
So why does the D-mail phenomenon occur?
Because the path through the ring singularity is open. I've been over this already.
We don't know if there's actually a black hole at work here. It could be an entirely different phenomenon that just happens to resemble CERN's experiments. It's dangerous to jump to conclusions.
Why so timid? Don't you want our time travel experiments to succeed? That's why we put our lives on the line to hack CERN. What we need to figure out is how to turn the phone wave name subject to change to a usable time machine.
Do you really think that's possible?
There's no think. Only do.
Wait.
And before the answer is just because time zones exist, that'd be really funny.
What? Did you read that off a motivational poster? You're like the classic incompetent boss.
Oh, that was Chris that said it. My bad. I used my Yuri's voice for him. Whatever. Damn you dare insult the insane mad scientist! Hoi Kuma! Well, it's not like Okarine's the boss anyway. Indeed, I am the symbol of this lab, not the boss.
I don't know what you mean by symbol. How do you plan to turn the phone wave into a time machine? Let's have details. Details.
I plan. The plan to turn the phone wave into a time machine. The time machine plan. Alright, there is one thing. When thinking about the electrical discharge happens at random, but I have a hypothesis.
Which is?
Look at my watch, it's past noon. Recall the conditions when it occurred, Christina. Experimented through the night with no results, but there's one variable we overlooked. Simplest, most definitive variable of all. That is the time of the occurrence. Check the times of the 2 previous occurrences. When I accidentally sent the first email to Daru's phone, happened between noon and 1 p.m. Second time when all 4 of us observed the email was 6 p.m. So you perform the experiment within that time frame, might be able to reproduce the effect.
Let's try it right now.
And Carissa balls into the development room, suddenly bursting with enthusiasm, and I think that's a good place to call this live stream. We're going to see if we could get a successful occurrence of time travel, or something similar to it, of jellification, etc. But that's for next week. For now, this is animefanrk2k. Thank you very much for joining me for tonight's Visual Thursdays. We'll continue Steins Gate. It's gonna be fun. Don't miss it. And plus, you could totally write off these live streams as a science lecture. Yo, there has to be someone give me a teaching certification. I'll give science credits for this, okay? If you allow me to. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a good night. Peace.